Hi everybody, welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Aliyah. I'm a 21-year-old post-grad full-time content creator. It's very nice to meet you. I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina. I make lifestyle vlogs, beauty videos, advice, any fun stuff like that I'm gonna do for you. But if you're already you're not new here, you know the dealio. Hey cousin, it's so nice to see you again. I'm glad you can make it to another upload. Today I'm going to be showing you my 2024 Notion tour / templates. I've been getting a lot of requests for this video over the past couple weeks, months even. I've been post-grad for almost a year now, and Notion is still a very heavy part in my productivity in my everyday life. Notion is a free productivity app that you can use on desktop as an app or just on Safari or Google Chrome. It's completely customizable, completely free. I started using Notion as a student. I fear Notion as a student was probably one of the best ways to use it. So if you need some template ideas, I'll link those down below for you, no problem. I personally just feel like Notion is such a good tool because it personally helps me keep up with things in my life that I just sometimes feel like I can't get a grasp on or are just too big for me to conceptualize in my notes or in my head. It's a place where I pretty much brain dump anything that comes to mind and I need updates on. I can share with my team these things, or I could just have some things to myself, which you guys will be seeing in this Notion tour. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Notion tour. This is my Notion homepage. As you can see, we have this kind of green earthy theme going on. My homepage is my prettiest page in my opinion. I have my homepage led with the quote that says, "You get what you work for, not what you wish for." On this left side, I'm starting with this affirmation database that one of my good friends Nicoya actually sent me. I have a list of affirmations that changes every single day. So today's affirmation is, "I am appreciated and valued exactly as I am." And then under that, I have my big 3 sections for what I use Notion for: planning, personal, and work. Underneath planning, we have a weekly and yearly spread. And then under personal, we have finance, reading, travel, my dream journal, recipes, and meal planning. And then underneath there, we have a work section for content creation and my social media client portal. Now there's also a section under here that says currently reading. And this is just a part of my reading section right here. So I didn't want to mention it, but it does show me what I'm currently reading. And I'm currently reading The New Naturals by Gabriel Bump. It's a contemporary literary fiction if you wanted to know what I've been into. And I just have this really cute divider down here on my laptop. This actually stretches all the way across here. So your points of views do change based on your screen size. Keep that into mind when you're planning your stuff out. I have my to-do this week section. This very good addition to the Notion page. I am not a daily planner person. It's just too micromanagey for me and I don't really like it. But to start off this section, I have a "what you're looking for is not out there, it is in you." I change this quote every week. And I just like to change it with the quote that I like to hear or see every day for the week because I look at this literally every single day. Have the goal for the week is to complete tasks no matter how long it takes, because I tend to get frustrated in myself if I feel like I'm not moving as fast as I should or doing the amount of things I should be doing. Below that, I have my days. As you can see, I have Monday through Friday because I don't plan to do anything on the weekends. Anything that's kind of spillover from Monday through Friday, I'll do on the weekends if I absolutely have to, but that's pretty rare. So that's why I only have Monday through Friday. That is my personal work week. Under each weekday, I have a theme for the day. Based on what I have to do, I'll usually map out what I have to do for the week and then drag each task to underneath these little arrows. As you can see, Monday was a rest day. I kept my to-dos very minimal because this weekend was just a little bit draining for me, so that's why I gave myself a little rest day. Now, usually I do not have all 4 categories under one day, but on Thursday, I have a lot to do. Friday, of course, I have to edit to upload to do because it's a housekeeping day, so it's just really just polishing up on the week. I also have a brain dump section that has the thing that says to do, but when. So it's a list of things that I know I have to do this week. That's just there for if I ever feel like I have any free time and I could do things with myself. My favorite thing about this though is that this little button that says new week right here, you hit this button. This is the raw version of my weekly to do. So every day has a to film, to edit, to upload, and to do section. And then based on what I have to do, I will either delete some of these bolded sections, but each one has a checklist underneath. I love the conciseness of this. It's so easy. And then of course add my goal for the week and refresh my quote every week when I can. And my favorite thing about this is that I can't stand deleting stuff. So no matter what, I have this little archive down here. I can bring it to the archive and it goes on this archive page with all the previous weeks that I had so I can track what I've been doing. There's a few previous pages such as yearly, 2023, 2023 quarterly. There's some pages I wasn't ready to let go of. Moving on under that, of course, I have another quote because one thing about me, baby, I love a quote. To go fast, go alone, but to go far, go together, because I often forget I can do the most that I want to do if I'm just by myself, but I actually want to get somewhere in my life. I need to work with and network with other people. Hello, this is a new addition to my homepage. This is my meal planning section. This is related to the meal planning right here. But this basically just tells me what I'm gonna be eating for the week. I just like to have this on my front page because I see my front page the most. Then scrolling down, we have this beast, I mean absolute beast of a database. This is my content calendar database. So I'm gonna show you my full content calendar just because all this is old. So in this content calendar, I have it broken up into overview, long form, short form, and filming schedule. I mainly like to look at it either in the long form, short form, or filming schedule, just because the overview gets so cluttered up and it's just a whole mess. It looks so crazy. Since we're going into a new month, I of course focus on that one. But as you can see, it looks very different from what it used to because I just recently condensed it down with different icons and just things like that. Of course, on my filming schedule, it tells me when I would need to film what, and it's just very convenient. We'll go over that more as I go into the content creation section of this video, which is probably going to be the biggest part of the video because it's the most in-depth. And I'm going to open up my weekly page. I really don't use this page. I use my homepage the most. As you can see, I literally haven't updated this since the 12th. I'm going to fix that. I'm sorry. On the left side, we have my priorities followed up with my goals for the week. My priority since December has been to get my car inspected and my oil change, but it's been a priority since December and it's still not done. So as you can see, I don't really want to do that. I have my goals for the week, and a goal for every week of mine is to post YouTube videos, 2 of them to be exact. And right now it's just been a real big focus of mine getting out of February and going into March. So if you see me posting more often, hold me to it and tell me good job. I need some satisfaction. Below that, I also have the same affirmation thing down below, and then the same layout that I showed you on my homepage, as you can see. So now we're in my yearly page. This page is a little bit more personal because one thing I love to do is plan. If I wasn't in social media, I would love to be a social media marketer or just social media assistant, because one thing I absolutely love to do is to plan. Planning for the new year is one of my favorite activities, so I personally just love to sit down and create this new yearly page that I have going on here. And this page starts out with a reflection of 2023, specifically my achievements and feelings that I liked during 2023. And I feel like you just can't move forward until you look back, and I feel like that's a really big mantra or just practice that I've always been taught. Down below, we have my word for 2024, which is intention. I have the pronunciation, part of speech it is. Instead of having a full quarterly goals page like I had in 2023, which you saw, I have these little 4 broken down pages. Now each of these pages are exactly the same, so I'm only going to show you Q1. But if you go into my quarterly goals, it's broken down into monthly goals, top 3 priorities, and end of quarter review. It's not the end of Q1 yet, so I cannot fill this out to the end of March, but I will show you my monthly goals spread. It just shows the month, my top 3 priorities for January. Weekly planning section, I'm not gonna lie, it might go away just because I feel like it's too many things that I have to update, so this might go away. But if this was the case, in order to get to a goal, I would put the weekly priority in order to get to that goal, and then things that I would do to maintain or / reach a new goal. I have a month in review, and January was a pretty good month, so I have things that I reflect on. I go over things that I liked, learned, lacked, and longed for. But since it's coming to the end of February, I'm also going to fill this out for February. And if you want to see, they're exactly the same every single month. If anything, the icon just changes and priorities change. Like, it's the same thing every single page, so that's why I only want to show you one. These are some of my goals for the year, but they are not limited to these 3 goals. On my top personal, I have find 2 new hobbies I enjoy, learn 25 new recipes, and read 24 books. And then of course, next to each goal, I have the quarter that I want to achieve this by. It's always nice to strive for things because I don't mind doing mindless work, but I prefer when my work has a direction and I kind of know where I want it to go. That's why I personally love goals, not for like a personal development thing. I mean, that's good too, but it's good to have a direction on where I want to go with some things. And then below that, I also have more, or just completely all of my 2024 goals, and they are divided up into personal or professional, what quarter I want to do them by, and then the date that I achieve them, and then the status of them. So these are all my goals for the year. And then yeah, it's just really nice to have an overview of the yearly and what's going on. Let's get into my personal section. I'm gonna go ahead and get finances out the way because I hate talking about finances. This is my finance sheet. I have a very non-traditional job, which means very non-traditional way of doing money. It don't matter how much money's coming in, if the proper money is not going out for mortgages and bills, baby, somebody's getting tore up and it's gonna be me. So to start this page off, I'm gonna talk about this database right here. This is my finance and charges database. Well, of course, before there's a quote, I'm sorry, I skipped it. The money I will spend will always be replaced by more. This is an abundant lifestyle. I'm living abundantly. All the money that I spend will replace by more, double, triple, quadruple. Down here, we have my finances and charges database. This is basically a database that I created in order to see how much money money I give out a month for my necessities that I absolutely is a non-negotiable. So for example, my necessary expenses include things such as my house payments, such as my mortgage, my Wi-Fi, my electric, my gas, my HOA fees. My mortgage is not $2,500 a month. It actually recently dropped, but I pay extra because it takes the amount of money that's within my home loan that I got from the bank. You can watch my 6-month home update if you want more information and be nosy about my bills. Below is just my subscriptions. These are just kind of things that I need to keep track of how much I'm spending. I have it to where it shows me the sum of these numbers at the bottom. And then of course I also have the due date of each one. Some of these aren't accurate anymore, so I think I might actually take this out, I'm not sure. And then below, my business expenses, such as the tools that I use to make videos or just payments I'm making on equipment. These are all at the bottom because these are very expensive. They're more than my subscriptions. Obviously, I pay $524.81 a month in YouTube tools and business expenses, which is crazy, but I digress. I do it because I love it. And then to the right, I have my 2024 financial goals, and one of them is to create and stick to an actual budget, which I actually did on this page. Another one of my goals is just save 50K. I love having money in my savings account. I love when they pay me interest because I am just such a good bank holder. Like, she's so good at saving money. I usually get money back on this. And then below here, we have this gorgeous picture. Gorgeous, gorgeous photo. But below that, whenever I have extra money that I actually want to spend on myself, I have a list of things that I want / need to buy. Here I have the item, how much it costs, and then if you open the page, it's a link to the item. This also helps with my impulse buying because one thing about me, I'm just a girl at the end of the day, and I've been trying to get in the habit of not buying things as soon as I see that I like them because I need to let things marinate before I actually buy them and think, do I actually want this? So this is my 2024 reading dashboard. Of course, a quote: "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads only lives once," by George R.R. Martin. Thank you, George. Don't know who you are, but I appreciate you for saying that because you're so real. Starting with the left side, I have this month's reads. February was a very short month. I don't know why I aim to read 5 books in February. I am not a booktuber. I'm not a book talk person. I'm just a girl who likes to read in her free time. These are the books that I want to read for the month. So this is my monthly TBR. And then below here, I have my 2024 reading goals. And then in the middle, I have my current read section. And in this section, it tells you things such as the title, the author, the status, and of course, if you're currently reading, it'll be under your current read. Current page, total pages, how much I have done, my dates that I read it, my star rating if I DNF'd it, if it's a part of my goal for the year. If it's a part of a series, it'll be here, and then the genres that it falls under will be here as well. On the right side, I have my reading nook. I'm just gonna show you one of these. All these mini pages fall under the same page. Starting off, this is my library. This is not done. So not all the books that I own, but it's a good amount of books that I have bought in the past couple months / the past couple weeks. They are all here with their title, author, status, dates read, current page that I'm on, total pages, percent done, if it's a part of a goal, star rating, if I DNF'd it, genres, and if it's a part of a series. If something is being currently read, it'll be on that first page under current reads, but right now I'm only currently reading the new naturals because I can't read 2 books at a time because I'm not psycho. So moving down below, we have my TBR. Basically has the title, author, if it's a part of this month. If you click this, it ends up on your TBR on the left side of the previous page, like I said before, and how I acquired it, whether it's a physical, audio, ebook, library, or a gift book from somebody, which is really cute. Then I have the month to read it. And one thing I don't like about this is that you have to, like, let's say it's February. I don't like the fact that I have to check that it's this month. Like, I kind of wish it did it by itself, but that's just me being lazy. This is my series tracker. In here, I have 3 different series right now: the Ninth House, Inheritance Games, and Hunger Games series. Authors, the status broken up into not started, in progress, completed, or DNF. Series type, if it's a duology, trilogy, or saga, and then the genre that it falls under. The books that fall within the series, and these books are pulled from the library above, so that's very convenient. So whenever you say you're reading a book, it'll, you know, change it to an in progress sign with that. And then below here, it has my yearly reading goal. This page is completely broken that you're looking at, so I think I'm just gonna delete it, but it's supposed to auto generate these answers for you, so you have like a really cool thing to look back on for the year. As you can see, it's using a relation feature, which is really cool, which I showcase better in my travel page, which I'll show you later. I don't really know like what the issue is, so I just leave it alone. There's my reading page. Very intricate, very nice. The one thing I don't really like about it is how often I have to go back and repeat myself with information, such as how many times I'd have to put certain books into the database for it to function. I don't really like repeating myself, but I think the template overall is really nice. I just have to get used to repeating myself 10,000 times because one thing I love is easy things in Notion, and it's not that easy to go in Notion and repeat yourself 10,000 times. We have my travel page. As you can see, we have the creation of Adam picture up here. Fun fact, I have this tattooed on my right rib. On top of this page, we have a upcoming trip section. So it'll show you the days that you are going to be gone. My quick action on this page is new travel plan. And under that, we have navigation such as trips, countries, cities, bucket list, travel journal, expenses, to-dos, resources, and packing list, and document. Also, this countries visited is not accurate. I'm only counting the countries that I'd been to after I turned 18. Way more than 2 countries in my life. Not falling under the stupid American stereotype. So let's say I have some new travel plans, okay? Let's say I'm going to Kingston, Jamaica. It is in the country of Jamaica. The city, I would have to add Kingston because it's a new city that I'm going to. As you can see, it gets added in the cities database that I just showed you. Status, expected. So that means it's coming up. So if we open up this page, we have navigation for this trip exclusively, such as travel information, task for the trip, my packing list, my expenses for the trip, travel resources, documents, travel journal, and places experiences. This is for more of something you do while you're on the trip. This is things that you use usually before or after your trip. And this is the stuff to do to prep/update potentially during your trip, depending on what you're doing on said trip. Task is related to this task that I just clicked on. It's just a bigger view of it, so I'm just going to show you the smaller view because it makes the most sense. So let's say I have to pack my bags, grab passports, check travel advisory, and then you say what category each of these tasks fall under, the priority of each task. Is so easy to have all these task lists for certain trips, and I just like the organization aspect. And then below here we have a travel journal. This is a nice way if somebody asks you like, oh, how was your trip to such and such? You don't have to pull up your photos app and look at all that foolishness, your 50K photos like I have. It says the city, country you went, the date that this took place. So if I'm going the 5th, let's say this happened the 6th. If this was a highlight of your trip, you would favorite it. Come up here with like photos, just things that you did. Places I visited on this trip, it's very simple. Places, food, experiences. So things that you basically did, the rating you give it. And it's very nice and convenient to have for tracking what you did on certain trips. If we go up here, we have travel information regarding flights, accommodations to, from, and all that. Packing list is excellent. These things you can also categorize as Kingston packing list items here. So you also have a very specific packing list for Kingston without having 5,000 lists in your notes. This is something I've been trying to do. Y'all know I own a house. I have bills. So these are planned expenses versus actual expenses that I did spend on the trip. What type of expense it is. So I would say this is transportation. And then the date that I took my trip. I take business trips sometimes. It's very nice to have when it comes to taxes or just having companies reimburse me. Going back to this page, we have travel resources, just a bunch of websites that I like to use. So booking.com, TripAdvisor, Yelp. Then important documents. I don't have anything in here but a universal document. I don't know what it would be, but there's a page for it. And I'm not going to delete it because I don't want to mess this up. So there's that. Then, like I said, I have my travel journal and place and experiences page. So this is pretty much all the information I might need for a trip in one page. When you create a new trip, it'll show you all your trips that you ever been on. I've been trying to include photos of each trip that I've been on. That is one of my favorites that I got from the trip. See, I only have Montego Bay and Aruba because I suck at taking photos. Up and coming, it has expected, it has the ones you have coming up. Completed, it will be here. And then just the database, pretty boring. Kind of just a wish list of things that I want to do, period. I don't really touch this because it's more like a bucket list type of thing, so that's completely empty. But if you wanted to fill it out, you can check off if you did it, the city it's in, the rating, what trip it's a part of, if it's going to be a part of a future trip, places, food, experiences. Like I said, I haven't really used this yet. Then you have the travel journal, like I said, from Kingston. Again, the resources. Right now I have no travel updates except one that I'm going to Cancun. I did not make this. I stole it. Not gonna touch it because I don't want to mess it up. Here on the right, you can see that we have a to-do list. So for example, if I need my to-do list for Kingston, it'll show up right here. And I would usually filter out my packing list and my to-do list per trip based on the trip I have coming up. And I really like this homepage because if you're in a bad reception area, my Notion usually still loads up. So I like having this as a front page, like on my phone, or let's say like my iPad, having this type of information such as resources or just like things that I have to pack because I'm in a bad spot at the store, or just like things that I have to do because the trip is coming up. And it's just a really convenient thing to have. We'll be linking this template down below because it's so good. This is a really bad template, but this is just my dream journal. I haven't written in here in a while, but I do have dreams I need to take from my notes. Not gonna do that right now because sometimes they're really federal. Usually whenever I have a dream and I wake up and I remember it automatically, I will just jot it down and I'll start off with like the date, just what happened in the dream. Now we're gonna go into my recipe section. This is gonna be deleted, but this is just all the recipes that I know / want to learn. I haven't updated this in a while. I have the category, if I've tried it, the rating, the link, if there's a link to the recipe, notes such as the time, ingredients you need, and instructions for the meal. And you can also divide this up into breakfast items, lunch and dinner items, drinks, snacks, or just all of them. This is going to become a part of the meal planning page, which we're about to get into, which I recently started using a couple days ago and I absolutely love it. This took a while to set up and I'm still setting it up. Absolutely worth it once it is set up. So as you can see, we have 4 navigation sections over here: recipes, pantry, grocery list, and complete list. In the middle, we have the grocery list for the week. Of course, it is empty right now. Then on the right, we have a what I'm eating this week. And then down below, we have all the recipes. Meals for the week is separated by day of the week, and the meals you can tag based on the recipes that you have added down below. Then however many calories. I don't really care about this, so I don't really have that put in there. So in this list, you are supposed to put the item that you have or don't have, and you either check if you need to buy it or if it's in the pantry, the category that it falls in, frequency in which you need to buy it, and then the recipes that you make with said item. So for example, if I scroll down, I can use eggs to make my farmhouse breakfast bagel, so I would add that. And then this week, it shows the day that I would be using said ingredients. They're a weekly occurrence and they're not checked to be in the pantry. They will automatically come up for the groceries for the week because I need them every single week. And when I check them off, they will disappear. That's pretty much the premise of my meal planning list. And I think it's just really cool how intricate it is. But I also really love this meal planning thing that I have right here. And I could just figure out what I want for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or snacks right here and just really map it out instead of trying to write it all down. And it's really cool because if you don't have one of the ingredients to make one of these things, which is listed in the page, it'll actually come up in this grocery list. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the biggest template that I have in Notion, which is my content creation template. This is my ride and die Notion template. Every version of myself that is required for this job is in this template. Off the bat, I have this month's goals. It's definitely important that I have some goals set up for this job because if I don't, nobody will, and I'll be just roaming endlessly on the internet with no longevity and just no direction of where I want to go, and I'm not ready to live that type of life. Most of these are mainly maintaining goals. So for example, 4K in AdSense revenue, engagement, click-through rate. So for example, some of these are just maintaining stuff, but I still like to see what am I aiming to maintain and gain throughout this month that I want to have to do with like social media. So that's what that's for. Then to the right, I have an upcoming deal section because one thing about me in Q2 and Q3, I be booked. So that's when this is mostly filled out. This is a new feature on my content creation template. Down below, we have the meaty part of the page. So this involves my navigation, just kind of information I need to keep to myself or information that is for me to see, which is why it's in the middle. And then my right-hand side, so this is a little short, I'll start with the right. We have my links and tools, and of course, a quote. A creative life is an amplified life. And then below here, I have a quick to-do, which is in a synced block. I forgot to mention this, but a synced block is basically a block that you can drop things into. And if you copy and paste the same block on several pages, the same edits will be made across every single page that is within the synced block. So for example, my weekly to-do list are just like things to do. Everything always updates in that no matter where it is, whether it's on my weekly or my homepage, it'll be updated because it's within a synced block. That's what that red line around it was. Sometimes I don't want to see them half the time, so I just keep them folded up. I have all my social links in case I need to copy and paste it for an ambassador program if I'm applying for it. This is the quickest way to do so. And my most used tools for my job is Canva, Creative Market, Magic Links, and Epidemic Sound. Canva I use for my thumbnails, which a lot of people ask me. Creative Market is where I get a lot of my fonts and graphics if I don't make them from scratch in Canva. Magic Links is how I do my affiliate marketing, and then Epidemic Sound is where I get all my sound effects and music. If you ever want to know these types of things, I always link my stuff down below or slash when I can, whether it's my affiliate links or a link to sign up for Epidemic Sound. Everything is disclosed. This is not an ad. I do get commission if you use some of my links down below, actually majority of the time, but it's not sponsored. I just get commission. In the middle, I have my posting schedule. I'm trying to aim to 2 videos a week because I was doing really good with that last fall. My idea YouTube schedule is Wednesdays and Sundays. I'm trying to move to 10 a.m. Right now I post at 6 p.m. It just feels really late. So let me know if 6 p.m. is a little bit late Eastern time, not any other time. And then I post short form content on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. around 10 a.m. maybe even 11. But I am really good at posting my shorts on time. I have an on the back burner section. In this section, I'll have like things that aren't really as important that I want to do, but I still want them to get done. When it's in progress, I can drag it over to in progress because this is actually in progress right now. Then when it's complete, it'll just be incomplete. And then if I want to delete it for the month, I definitely could. Under there, we have a idea brain dump. So if I'm ever in the middle of nowhere, and I'll just drop these ideas here if I can't, for whatever reason, get into this content idea section. I need to type it out. Moving over to the left, as you can see, we have this gorgeous picture of these statues. I have my current brand deal, would just be the ones that I'm currently working on. Underneath here, we have a new feature launcher. This is a quick action new video idea. I love a button. Let's say I have a new video idea, I click it, let's say it's a short form video, and since it's a short form, the SF will come up with the short form logo that I gave. I'll say what platforms I want to post it on. It's a short form video. I put my niche, whatever it is. I'll pick my filming day. I won't really have a live date yet, so I'm not going to put that there. This will be a community post because I have my things sectioned off by discoverable, community, and sales posts. I mainly need to appeal to discoverable and community just because I want people to discover me while also feeding my audience. So I usually just pick the video bucket that it falls under. This would be a community video, but for example, a girl talk or like a hygiene shopping video would be discoverable. I have a link to my analytics. As you can see, this database is the YouTube view research. It's short form. I can't tag that because I don't track my analytics for short form videos. And then I have a sponsored by section. So if I have a brand that is sponsoring the video, I will mark the brand that is going to go there. Concept/deck that I make in Canva, the link will go here. And then if I have any potential brand deal ideas, it'll go here. Here I have title ideas, concepts, hashtags, and captions, descriptions. If you saw my content calendar in the beginning, I basically had everything split up into Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Short. But I thought it'd be easier if I condense everything down to short form, which is why it just says all this here now. Keyword opportunities is basically SEO. If you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. When you look up videos on youtube.com, videos will show up based on how well it ranked SEO wise and how that video might appear to you based on if you click on it. And I get this information such as search volume, competition, overall, and notes from the tool vidIQ. And since this video doesn't have a film date or a live date, it comes right into this content ideas tab under the short form thing. So if we scroll down, it'll be right here. If I have time to do all that information, I usually use that, but if I don't, I will go into this idea brain dump and just kind of put the title of the video / the concept and go about my day. I guess we can go ahead and get into the planning section of this. In here, we have a 2024 list. I love having this here just so my team kind of knows how I'm feeling about my personal feedback and some subscriber feedback. This is empty because it's in Google Forms. Don't clock me. But I like to ask myself the same questions every year about how I feel about my content, just to get a feel of how I feel getting into the new year and how we should go about that. And then below here, I have a 2024 published content that's filtered by month. I don't have a March in here yet, but when March is around, I will add a March, and then it just shows the videos that I posted during the month so we can see if that affects revenue or views, or if a month did better than the other. We can compare that just in that way. This is currently not that filled out because I need to. How to spice up my content section, specifically for YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, because not all platforms can have the same techniques or just aesthetics and editing ways. And I haven't filled this out in a while just because I'm still trying to figure out how to spice up my content per platform. I will figure that out later. That's my problem, not yours. I have a shot and editing inspiration section. If I see a thumbnail I like, I'll put it on here, or a shot / editing idea, I'll put it in here. Some editing or just like text that I like, how they laid it out, the color. I usually try to put text and stuff over on the right, actual visual shots in the middle / left side. It's kind of messy right now, but thumbnails are also here. I try to categorize them, but they're a little chaotic right now. The description of what I like / what I want to recreate in my own way in these scenarios. A lot of my videos are planned. You guys watch my vlogs now and have the time of your life, and it's because I actually spend time planning out what I'm doing in the vlog / what I want the vlog to look like aesthetically. Everything is done with intention. I definitely like this because sometimes it can feel a little stale as a creator to just do the same thing over and over, and switching up my font color or like the placement of it or just how I use opacity and how things are blended. That's the planning section. The behind the scenes section is where it gets tea-ish. So we're gonna start with the archive. So once again, pages that I'm just not ready to let go of / things I want to look back on, but these are more creative archives instead of planning archives. Above that, we have the research and feedback section. These are my focuses for the month of March. I have my priorities listed and the ways that I'm going to maintain / complete these focuses. It's really nice to have your goal and action step to actually get to these. That's why these are here. I'm gonna show you the master video list of this because this is basically how I track the behaviors of my subscribers based on my video type. So we have a video title, the video live link, the upload date, the pillar, which I need to update because it's different from my content creation calendar, but that's a different story. If the video is sponsored, I will put who sponsored it. If I premiered it on YouTube, if it's a YouTube short, to promote it, views within 24 hours, 1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks. This is just how I track y'all's mannerisms and just how you're responding to certain videos. In this, my team actually has their own set of things that they can react to. There's this little section here that they click untitled, and within this they say what works really well, what could have been done better, noticeable changes, thumbnail feedback and notes, and suggestions to make a future or similar video better. Very helpful to know what they think as on a professional level. Going into my brand identity and pillar, this is really just a way for me to look at my brand in an overview sense, where I know what is going on with myself and what I want to focus on with my videos and my posts, no matter where they're posted. So for example, my brand identity, I ask myself a few questions such as, who is the ideal viewer? What's important to me? Why did I start doing this? What makes me so special? Of course, on the right side, I have my vibes and feelings of things that I want my videos to emit, or emotions that I want my videos to emit. And then down below, I have my brand pillars. Brand pillars are very important because they make up your brand. So as you can see, I have 5 main pillars, and all these could fall under the lifestyle pillar, but lifestyle is just too broad in my opinion. So I had to break them down into things that I could visually see what I could do for each part of these pillars. So for example, I could talk about all these things listed under the arrow, and I like to keep them under arrows because it keeps it very clean and concise. Moving on to sponsorships, brand deals, and collabs. This is another huge database, so bear with me. Start off the page, of course, with the goal, because I need things to work to. These are just some brands that I want to work with in 2024 if I'm able. Just some brands that I use on an everyday basis that are actually very organic and authentic to my lifestyle. I think would work really well. I have this brands to work with general. These are different categories / niches on social media that these brands would fall in. I'm not going to show all of them because it's really a lot, but there definitely is a hefty amount of things, and these are all niche titles that I created myself that I feel like could fit into my video. And moving on to the right, I have my PR list goals. This is a recent addition. Now we're going to come down here to my full collaboration directory. You saw this before, so you're going to see it again. Starting off, we have the brand name, the dates, the platforms that they asked me to post on, the status of the brand deal. Yes, it is this serious. This is pretty much like the initiation phase. This is the in progress / improvement phase. And then this is when it's done. This is how much was in the contract. I get 80% of this. If they paid me, the payment plan, net 30, 60, 90, 30 business days, 60 business days, 90 business days after getting an invoice or a publishing date. That goes interchangeably. This is a new addition, as you can see, because all these are from 2020 and 2021 that I did not fill out because I'm not going to look back for that. The day that they paid me, how this relates to the YouTube view research. If a video is tagged on that research page with a brand that they are sponsored by, it'll show up here. For example, I worked with BetterHelp for a video here. I've worked with BetterHelp a few times on a few videos, and this is a long-term deal. So I'd have to tag like more than one video here. So that's why that's like that. And then the content itself, and this is within the content calendar database, which is what we're about to get into. So moving on, this is my Organized Chaos podcast page because I thought about starting a podcast. The name would definitely be Organized Chaos, but I'm not exactly in the development phases of some of this information. For example, the episode database. Girl, what episode are we talking about? Guest database, what I've guessed, I don't know. My social media, never started it. Resources, don't need to look. I really just use it for this brain dump page. On this page, I will drop concepts or title ideas to podcast episodes that I would love to chat about. Why is Gen Z so afraid of pregnancy? TikTok is ruining influencers' non-spons bag. 2010s culture will and can't be replicated. Just a bunch of unserious things that I could talk about for hours that I cannot talk about in videos because like I said, I will yap for hours. We're gonna fully dive into the content calendar. You guys saw a small part of this before and when I showed you the new ideas type of thing. But as you can see, I used to have it broken up into the platform and the logo that I was posting on, but it had to go because look how chaotic this is. It just looks a mess. So now I have it broken down into short form and long form / on the long form side, everything is still the same as when I showed you before. We'd just create an analytics page. If it was sponsored, include all that type of stuff. The thing for long form content is very different when it comes to the bottom. I still have my title ideas, my concept, but down here I will go through and look up similar videos to get some ideas on what I should and shouldn't be doing for thumbnails. And then I also have plot points and to-dos / things that I want to mention within the video. I wanted to show you up here, there's also a status for these videos. So when it's not an idea really means I just came up with like the general idea. Outlining means it's still like the preliminary steps of the video being done. In progress really means filming. I just don't like the word filming right now because I just use it so much. So I usually just say in progress of the videos kind of being filmed because sometimes it takes me a really long time to film some videos and then sometimes I'm scripting some videos, so I don't want to have filming and scripting, so I just say in progress. Now if editing, if it's exported / submitted to editor or brand, because just because something is exported doesn't mean it is uploaded. Yeah, I'll usually say exported if I exported like a TikTok or something and just like it's done, like it's exported, but that doesn't mean it's uploaded. And in my complete, I've uploaded, scheduled, and posted, because scheduled and posted is 2 different things. And I really added the uploaded thing because I post all my TikToks through my TikTok app, and as of right now you cannot schedule TikToks through the app, so I have it uploaded, especially for my short form. That's really what that's for. Notion recently came out with a new feature, which is the Notion calendar, and if you have a calendar database, you can open it and just hit open calendar. You do have to have the app downloaded. So open up the calendar that you have, and you could sync this with your Google Calendar, so you can officially sync your Google Calendar with your Notion calendar. And I personally love this because it just creating my weekly schedule so much more seamless. And since I do content creation full time, it'll show me what days I'm supposed to be posting what in the light blue, because it has all my Google Calendar things up here, as well as the Notion things that I have down here. I also have a filming schedule section, just now integrating this really into my Notion because it is very, very, very new. I recently added this because I wanted to have a filming schedule for my team to see what I'm filming when. This is also within the information that you saw on the bump out on the right side. So I have a film date and a live date, and I'm doing a lot of pre-filming because I have a home thing that I want to do, and it's just, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So I like to have everything pre-filmed and ready to go. I'm trying to figure out a way for this to be integrated within my Notion calendar. So if you know how to integrate filming activity versus so like let's say you have something due on the 25th, but you want to complete it on the 21st, and you have it separated like mine. If there's any way that you know how to fix that, or just like have it show up on the Notion calendar, please let me know. Help a girl out. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for my entire 2024 Notion tour. And I would never end a video as extensive and in detail as this without any tips, because if you're seeing this and be like, oh, I want to get as organized as this, like I need to get into that, I'm gonna give you some of my top 3 tips for getting started with Notion. My first tip for you, I have a mix of free templates and paid templates, and no matter what you do not have to cough up money if you don't have to. I know a lot of you are college students, like I said before, and some of you just don't want to spend no money. Cereal is $9 for a regular size box. I would not blame you if you don't want to spend no money on a Notion template. There's a ton of free ones on Etsy, YouTube. You really just have to find which ones work for you. It's free. It should be free if you want it to be free, and there's a way for it to be free by just not coughing up no cash. Next tip I have for you, as you can see, I have really simple templates and really complex templates because I use mine for mainly work, but I also have some personal things such as meal planning and hobbies that I want to keep up with. Some are more complicated than others, but I will say the more you micromanage stuff, the more it could feel overwhelming. So I would definitely say start simple and build up later. There are a bunch of new additions to content calendars and how I manage things that have been added over the years that I've had this template, which is over probably 3-4 years now. Adding stuff instead of trying to do everything at once is absolutely the best way to go. If you feel like you have to dump all your ideas within one Notion, I honestly don't blame you. It's such a good tool. The more trackers, the more complicated it gets. When it comes to tracking everything and micromanaging everything, it's a huge task and it's very exhausting. So starting small and building up your ways of tracking stuff in Notion is going to be your best friend. And technically my last tip, try not to feel overwhelmed when you first get it. You literally open it and it creates a blank page. Literally terrifying. I know. Honestly, your best friend is going to be watching YouTube videos like this, going on Pinterest, getting inspiration for things you could or couldn't use, what's gonna work and what's not gonna work for you, just aesthetics and visuals and everything you could find under the sun. Just playing and really developing it over time is going to be your best friend. So with that being said, that's it for today's video, you all. I'm sorry if it was kind of lengthy. I really wanted to go really in detail to show you what I use for my everyday life and planning my life and the aspects that I wish to plan. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you do, please give it a huge thumbs up. And if you're new, please subscribe. I would love to have you here. There are new videos here every technically Wednesday and Sunday. You saw that already. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Can't wait to see you on the next one. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazing morning, evening, or night wherever you're on the world, and I will see you on the next video. Bye everybody.